Hello, you gorgeous human beings. It is me, Susie Ashworth. This is day 14 of 75 Hard, day 8 of creating daily YouTube videos. And yesterday, something major happened. I want to share with you all about the process of making a new investment in a coach, which came completely out of the blue. Like, I was not thinking about investing in more mentorship at all yesterday when I woke up. And when I was reflecting on the fact that I was going to share about the process with you, what I was reminded of is why I've started 75 Hard. And I started 75 Hard back in October because I knew that I wanted 2026 to be an extraordinary year for me. And in order for 2026 to be an extraordinary year, so extraordinary, that means that whatever we have done and achieved this year, and this year has been in like a professional, from a professional point of view, this year has been a really incredible year for us. We're going to finish up on about 1.15 million in cash for the year. That's amazing! It's really, really great. And there's just so much more. There's more profit that we can be making. There are more clients that we can be helping. There's a bigger impact that I desire to make. Because of everything that's happened, my intention with the Faith Plus Action Equals Miracles Foundation hasn't quite come to fruition, but it will. And all of the things that I want to do next year is going to require a bigger, bolder, and more evolved version of myself. And this is why I started 75 Hard. And what struck me, this is why I started 75 Hard, and ultimately it is the discipline, the self-trust, the self-belief, the motivation, the devotion to myself, which is going to help me become the version of myself who has achieved these goals, who has set out to do something and does it in a spectacular fashion. And for me, spectacular fashion is about feeling good, really honouring my values as a businesswoman and a mother and a 47-year-old sovereign being who wants to feel stronger, fitter, healthier, sexier than I've ever felt in my life. If I, double my business and everything else suffers, I've lost, and I am not available for losing. Anyway, yesterday I ended up investing in some mentorship, which I feel really, really activated by. And this person has been in my world as a peer, actually, for many, many years, maybe 8 or 9 years. We've been in masterminds together. We have traveled the world together. And it's interesting that yesterday I decided to bite the bullet, and it came completely, like I say, completely left field. We'd spoken earlier on in the week as friends, and I remember coming off of our messenger exchange thinking, God, she sounds really good. Her frequency feels really clean and expansive and enthusiastic and just turned on, which of course left me feeling I like that. I feel good being in that energy. And I think that that's just a really, really telling thing. Even when you're watching videos like this, you tune in with how you feel after it. If you feel activated, if you feel motivated, if you feel inspired, if you're thinking differently, if your perspective has shifted, keep on watching and liking and subscribing and commenting. And if you don't, if you're feeling triggered and not in a good way, if you're feeling drained, if you're feeling bored, it's like, then stop wasting your time. We spend so much of our only finite resource with people that we don't really like, listening to shit that we don't really want to listen to, feeling uninspired, feeling drained. It's like, no, don't do that. So anyway, I had this sense of like, wow, I really enjoyed that interaction, and she sounds like she's on fire. That's amazing. As my mate. And then on Sunday morning, I saw an email come through promoting one of her offers, and I was like, oh, it was like at quite a cheap price point, a few £1,000s. And I thought to myself, maybe. Now, it might have been yesterday or a couple of videos ago that I said that I had been just playing around on the periphery of human design. And my design is a generator, and I have a sacral authority. And what that means is that in my sacral chakra is where I get my intuitive hits. And when my sacral is activated, as it is right now, and I feel my life force energy in that space, like that is a yes. And the invitation is for me as a generator is to really live my life listening to those yeses, not second guessing them, not doubting them, and being tuned in enough to be able to feel them. Knowing that the more you start to live your life, really listening to that sacral yes, which is all about satisfaction. Like, will I be satisfied if I move forward with this action? And if the answer is yes, it's like, go for it. And I saw this offer, and it wasn't a sacral yes, but it did get my cogs whirring. And from the description of who it was for, honestly, and the price point, if I'm really honest, I thought it's probably going to be too low level for me. But you know what? I'm just going to ask. I'm just going to ask. Like, if I came into this, would it be, is this what I should be doing if I want to be hitting consistent 5-figure days? And of course she came back and said, no, but this is the place where you should be. I knew as soon as I asked the questions, there was kind of like a little bit of a dance about whether I was going to reach out. But as soon as I reached out, I knew, because I know me, that I was going to do something with her. That my instinct, my body had already moved me towards her. And because I have already said that I'm going to be listening to my sacral hits and listening to those yeses and moving forward with those yeses, as soon as you said, no, it's not that, it's this, I was already like, okay, this is it. This is it. And I had a couple of questions for her, and within half an hour I was in. That, I can tell you, is generally speaking how I invest in most things. I don't overthink things hugely, and sometimes that has worked in my favor and other times not so much. What feels really incredible about this investment is that absolutely she operates in the way that the version of me that I am becoming desires to operate, in terms of work, in terms of family, in terms of team, in terms of revenue, in terms of the way that she cares, in terms of the way that she supports her clients. All of those things tick the boxes for what I know the next level of evolution I am demanding of myself from, in order to be able to live and earn and play in alignment with my values. And because I've already decided that, like, this year was the energy of the rocket ship, and whilst I'm working on what the theme for next year is going to be, although maybe maybe, I'm just going to sit with it for a little bit longer, but maybe I've already decided. But whilst I'm playing with the theme and the energy of next year, what I know is that whatever I decide when it comes to the theme of the energy, it's got to be about expansion. I know that being in this container is going to be expansive, not just because she's a great mentor, but because of what I am already asking of myself. I know that the magic isn't in her, the magic is in me, but to be in a space where I am activated on a daily basis makes it easier for me to keep tapping into the magic. So I really want you to think about, like, what is the environment that I am in at the moment? Has it been great for what it is that I wanted to achieve this year? If it hasn't, what's been missing? And more importantly, what do you want going into 2026? And where is it? Because it's already, what you want is already around you. The mentor, the course, the program, like what you want and also what you need is already in your field of vision. And the only thing that is stopping you is the fact that you have not claimed it yet. And maybe you haven't claimed it yet because you haven't decided that you are willing to do what it takes to become the individual where that decision is an easy yes for you. But what's really interesting from my own experience is that I understand that once you decide that you are going to become the individual that you need to become in order to create the outcomes that you desire, it's true, you're not just going to make that decision once, you're going to make that decision a million times over. Sometimes hundreds of times a day, you will be pushed and pulled and stretched, and you are still going to have to make that decision. Once you commit to making that decision, no get outs. Once you commit to making that decision, no what ifs, no buts, no plan Bs, and you put yourself in the right environment with the right mentors, with the right peers, there is absolutely no stopping you. I know that for sure. So on that note, I invite you to lean into yourself, lean into what it is that you want to create, lean into 2026 now. Okay, my friends, this is it for me today. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and I will see you tomorrow. I also love the comments. So if you want to have a little chat, just pop it in the comment box. And remember that faith plus action equals miracles.